Yes, so I'm just trying to get something on here. Maybe a little music. I don't know. Maybe a little music. No, no. Let me see this. Yeah, I'm not going to be on here very long. Just want to talk about my thoughts of the day. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to send this out to Jumping Beans. How do I go to Jumping Beans? Who else is here? Who else is on? Wow, we got a lot of people popping up at the bottom. How come those people pop up? What does that mean when they pop up? There's 0 people here. Let's start with liking myself. I wasn't really coming here to talk to myself. I got to put a sign in the back, right? Talking to myself, you can listen in. Oh, that's backwards. That's backwards. Flip the camera. No, don't flip the camera. I flipped the camera. Hold on. I flipped the camera. Flip the camera back. Take this off. This is about how much I can talk to myself while I'm preparing. What in the world am I preparing? Doesn't that mean like preparing? Would I be pairing like a bottle of wine? Like, what am I preparing? And I, what I usually do? I have an adopted free grandpa, grandma. I've got extra parents in the room. Anytime I want, I've got anything I want in this room. What, ma? I mean, it's like the Holy Ghost. It's in my mind. It never leaves my mind, like my brother. I can never forget my brother. Only because of my brother, I know so much more today what I shouldn't do, right? I know so much more today what I shouldn't do. Thank God I've been saved by the Holy Ghost. So I'm preparing, moving this around. I have to look at the time, see what I'm allowed to do. 11:52, 12:52, 1:52. Oh no, I'm cutting it real close, so I'm not going to be here very long. And I absolutely don't know what I'm going to be doing. So it was suggested to me that I open the page and call on this person over here. That's who I had to call on. Yeah, I was just thrown off a page again. I keep getting thrown off these pages when others don't understand. So the person says that they're a scientist and they know all about X, Y, and Z. And I said, I'd like to add on to your X, Y, and Z, and what I believe in my science, okay, is pertinent in your science so that you can back up what you do, right? Also inside of etymology, or would you believe that etymology has no bearing on our creation, that it's not a message that was left here? Left here? You mean they left us a message? I thought so. First they said the Lord didn't leave anything here, and now they're saying. Anyways, I'm just a little bit mixed up. I'm just trying to go through my head what they spoke about. In one of them, they say some guy gets on and says, "The Father, the Father, the Father. Why would the Father let you do that?" No. For me, I look at it a different way. I tell him a different way what the Father is. Okay, where is this Father? Right? And I don't want to say whether I'm religious, whether I'm taking a side or not. Just like if a captain of a giant boat that I've never been on before, I can tell you a story about it, even if I haven't been there before. I can tell you it's a boat. I can tell you the basics. I can tell you it's in the water. If there were 2 boats and 2 captains talking, I can tell you about the difference of their story. And if they talk long enough, okay, I'll be able to tell you something about the ship as well, right? It's in reading and listening, observing that you're able to tell a story. So to make a long story short, what do? 20 years ago, I had a vision, just a little over 20 years ago. 20 is a very pertinent number. Don't split tens, right? But what is the pertinence on this cube? Is there are 21 dots on this cube. When you put it to the highest side, 6, there's going to be 1 on the low side, and the dice in the relevance of man-made games sits down like this. It's not like this what we count. So if we counted it like this, we'd go three on the upper side, three on the lower side. But in this instance, we're counting it four on. In this instance, we're counting it four on the ring, one up and one down. Do you understand? There is a difference. Here it's 33. So if we're talking about 33, what are we talking about? We have full airwaves. We only have 7 corners free and balancing on one. Or are we balancing on 2? You can even look at your feet. You got 2 feet on the ground, but what's balancing everything up here? I mean, you could just decide to flop over. Is it your feet that stops your head from flopping you over? Okay, let me just see. 12 people came to my channel to befriend me. What do you mean to befriend me? Anyways, I'm going to get myself a glass of water. Sometimes I talk rhetorical. Sometimes I talk a little bit backwards. So anyways, lo and behold, 20 years later, ABC 123, Michael Jackson is actually in this world that I play. I have created, I make stories up from words, from the letters, from the alphabet, from the math, alternative stories by matching equations and numbers up. I'm going to show you a little bit, see where I can show you and show you immediately how perfect the system is. And everything is documented already. People at Harvard University or any of the big universities that work with sciences, I don't work with their math. I use 1 times 1, 1 plus 1, 1 minus 1. That's what I do. And then I'll switch it for the alphabet. And if it just so happens that the numbers are 3, 6, 4, and 5, I'm going to call that the son is in love with the woman. And it's all about twos. Twos make you whole. 1 splits you in half. 1 is divided, or 1 has the vibration that is shared between the electronic walls. Brown is reserved for the house. Black takes up the electronic walls. Comes in here in full harmony into the matrix, bringing the matrix of what is inches to centimeters, what is Fahrenheit to centimeters, what is Fahrenheit to Celsius, what is kilometers to miles, etc., etc., etc. There has to be, in order to remake the same model in the house, we are not going to work the model like of the house. Does anybody understand that in Irish kite I'm talking about? It all makes sense to me, but they still threw me off that channel. Right, still threw me off the channel. I'm still a little bit disturbed today. Not sure if I should say it, unwillingly. Okay, some person, unwillingly, of course, threatened another person because they moved an object from this side of the room to that side of the room because the object was mixed up with objects that belonged to 3 different people. So this person went in and separated the objects A, B, and C. The objects haven't been touched for 4, 6, 8 months. Some of the objects for a couple of years. Some of the objects look so old, you're not sure if anybody ever touched it or it came right from the garbage can. But yet the one person confronted this person and didn't say very much other than, I'll unalive you, more or less in words. And I don't think that is proper in a workplace. So I get called once in a while. I'm on call for this type of things on how to handle it. And usually I don't say anything. But this person, when they called me, they had me on the line when the boss walked up to them. And the boss said to them, "I want your phone." And the person said, "I'm holding this phone for my own security." They said, "Well, you're talking to somebody or you're recording and I don't want it to happen." And they grabbed the phone and they closed the phone down on them. But before the phone closed down, I opened and I said, "Don't do it." And the phone closed down. So now I have to think of what this next move is because I have to meet this person this afternoon unwillingly. Okay, just so happens we're going to end up in the same place at the same time. Now I can avoid it, but I will walk in with silence, study the situation of the NPC, see which way this NPC is going to go. And every time I bump into this NPC, it's how's it going? And irrelevant to what you say or if you want to discuss, it's never the time. but it's never the time. These NPCs find balance. It's very funny. Anyways, where was I? Oh, looky, 9 people, but I need a break. I'm not even supposed to be here, but because of that situation, I had to remain in my position right here where I am until 12 o'clock today, which is 4 minutes, but I'm going to go for an extra 35 minutes on this, and we're going to talk about tell me what's on your mind. Is there a number that interests you? Is there a holiday that interests you that we can look at? I'm not going to say I have all the answers, but usually my mother says, Jesus Christ. That's what she says to begin with. And then she says, you know everything. And that's partly of what she ends with. And, it's like that with your mother. You know that? Oh, that was really weird. So we're going to take a 2-minute break here, put on one of my favorite songs. If you ask me what song it is, I have no idea. I have a favorite song, a favorite flavor for every day. Tomorrow I might not like what I like today, and I might even forget why I don't even like it. But I change my mind all the time, and I don't even know why. Don't ask me, ask the doctors and all those medications I was on for many years. So here's one that's fun for me. So hold on. Do I have my favorite picture in here? Yes. And when I was talking about the electric moon, also we have to get the pig involved with this. The breath of the pig, the lungs with the pig, the heart with the pig, the vibration of the pig. The numeric value for brown is 72. The numeric value for money is 72. The fourth planet, okay? The planet Mars, okay? The planet Mars, Mars, okay, is number 51, right? So we went ahead and we wrote down 51, and it just so happens my science, okay, doesn't just say 51. When I come to do science, I leave nothing out. Because you ain't a scientist if you become, when you become a scientist, okay, prepare to fail 999,000 times before you succeed once. And God grew the business. God grew the business so big because God needed an answer to something. So brought in all the scientists, all the gods around the world, and everybody failed except for one. And that's all we needed was one. Failure is not so bad. It's the giving up, the not trying, or not wanting to know, or afraid to say something. Well, sometimes it's like that. I can't talk about myself. We're going to leave me out of this, right? I say what's needed to be said, right? What's concrete. Singularity. So we get what is 9 on this side. And on the other side, since it's my channel, guess what I get to do in front of everybody? That's right. With noise, I unplugged it because I was redoing my setup here. I forgot. Joke's on me, right? So we're going to plug that in right here. It's turning around. So where is this right now? Oh, no, I don't want to use that color. I just did that color and I don't want to use it. I need to use a dark color or a... Oh, man, I love when... Do we have something like a pen to shove down there to make it like, or a nail? Oh, I know what we can do. Put one of these down there. Forget it. Oh my God, I'm wasting so much. These are very expensive, $280. Must be that, I like to make fun of the religion they gave me, I was born with a small nose. I knocked it up a few times. They called me a Jew. So look what you get out of it. You get 96. What does that bring? That brings 33. I think we should all have fun with who we are. Because if you don't have fun with who you are, you can't recognize how others recognize the element that you have fallen bequeathed to. Can I say it that way? You need to be made fun of, okay? But somehow I don't think we do it in the right way. and maybe I'm saying this the wrong way, but unless somebody told me this or that, how would I know, or why would they be saying it? Then you can get reflection of your own self. What better help can you get, right? And then there are those who don't tell you the truth, right? So Mars is number 51, which looks like a 9 and a 6. 3 times 3, 9. So we can say the umbilical cord. 3 plus 3, 6. We can say life. Why am I saying nothing else? It's 1.5 times the life to come into the birth. You are of the breath from the umbilical cord connected by the mother, still of the breath by the mother. Through the umbilical cord into you. Before even here, how are you getting any air? I don't know. I just will tell you that 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 is 6 and 9. Just want to show you the basic difference. Sometimes I talk for nothing. Well, because I'm not going to finish the explanation. If you want to see something more complete about 6 and 9, then take a look at this picture, because this is the same picture as before. See this in between here? Here's the 9, and then here's the 6. But when you keep expanding it, close off on the area space here, you can do this. Here's the second area space. Here's what Mars would look like. Here's what Earth would look like. Earth has a core center. We would have the left side and the right side. Is it ham radio that runs from Mars, or is it ham radio that runs from Earth? Abraham, the arm to connect between 1 and 2 moons, between one father and 2 mothers. You know that when I drove through Wyoming, they used to call the sisters, yes, they used to call there's 2 mountains that are lined up together. They used to call them the sisters. And there's a bunch of mountains, and they're always giving them names. I think it's very important in the work that I do that we know the names of the mountains, know the names of the streets, see what repeats, call it a city, a country. We have to split everything up into fractals to see where everything was put. You can't lose something if everything was built into the system. The entire system is talking, right? So for those who know the system, wherever you go, it talks to you. Especially for the beginners, you come to a red light, you stop. You see a green light, you go. When you see a green light, you go. You look left, you look right, right? You want to see where you can go. You have to look in front if anybody's in front of you. There's rules and regulations. You can own the whole planet, right? But if you own the whole planet and mechanize everything, correct? And you put cars in the street delivering packages, and because no matter how you mechanize this planet, you still have to deliver packages all the time. The information network is continuously going on. Otherwise, what do you have to manage? You have to deliver pieces and parts all over the world. Now, you also have to make sure you have 2 sides of the highway. So cars can go this way and that way. So if you were God, you can't interfere with yourself. So if this whole planet was made on the singularity of a one God, you also have to have the mother system that can tell the difference of going both ways. So inside the system, right, wouldn't you have to build everything that is opposites to know the difference, right? Wouldn't we have to teach the complete science, not half a science? So now it would have to be a mad science, okay, until you get to the area of where the humans shouldn't get to this point of science, because then it's, you know what I'm saying? But how can you stop that? I don't know. Just give me a second here. How is everybody? Esprit Critique joined. Comment ça va, Esprit Critique? Es-tu français? Maïve est arrivé. GCM est arrivé. Encore Céline William est arrivé. Roblox, K de Roblox est arrivé. So, moi, qu'est-ce que j'essaie de faire? And I'm going to say it in English and French. Well, I think one of my biggest things is, I spend so much time over the years, and now that I understand where I've come to, I believe that if each one of us can understand what I'm doing, and each one of us had the system in their house, right, just like a wallet, that you don't have to leave it online, that you can punch in the information you want to learn about stories of how different things connected together. And it starts with as easy as the opposite of a cube, right? The opposite of a cube. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 and 36 equals to 48. 4 and 8 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 and 1 is 3. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 and 16 is 24. 2 and 4 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 and 9 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 and 10 is 17. 1 and 7 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 and 4 is 8. Now you tell me, real or fake? Now there's the other participle of the cube. Now when I speak, I don't speak the English language. I said participle of the cube. But I'm going to be taking a 2-minute break here. I have to calculate something. 1 over to 3, 3:45, 1:15 to 2 o'clock. The 2 o'clock, okay, that's good. So I'm allowed to 1, so I have to make sure I'm in a good realm for driving. So I'm just trying to think. I'm going to get a glass of water. I'm going to speak about this cube. If you have any questions, je vais répéter en français maintenant pour celui-là qui reste à Québec. Puis qu'est-ce qui s'arrive sur la planète présentement? C'est vraiment une combinaison des affaires. Puis pour collaborer et mieux comprendre ce gématria que je fais, je suis obligé de faire ça pas juste en français, excusez-moi en anglais, mais en français pour savoir la différence, pour savoir la petite bataille entre les deux, même si la tête est correcte, je fais le détour en rond, OK, pour réveiller. 6 fois 6, 36. 6 plus 6, 12. 12 et 36. Égale 48. 4 plus 8 égale 12. 1 plus 2 égale 3. En vire et l'opposé, 1 fois 1 égale 1. 1 plus 1 égale 2. 2 plus 1 égale 3. Puis maintenant, le cube renvers est égal. Maintenant, on va aller à 5. El 5. OK? Non, je ne fais pas ça. Qu'est-ce que je fais? J'ai fait, oui, c'est ça. Je fais ça. Maintenant, le numéro 1 en anglais égale 34. Le numéro 6 en anglais égale 52. Est-ce que c'est possible que 3 plus 4 égale 7? Est-ce que c'est possible que 5 plus 2 égale 7, puis 1 puis 6 égale 7, que 7 rentre entre l'addition de les deux à 86? Pour avoir le dégagement de le portail, c'est 2 fois 4, 2 plus 4, égale 8, égale 6. 5 fois 1 égale 5, 5 plus 1 égale 5 plus 1 égale 6, égale 14 égale 11. 5, 2. Dans cette situation, c'est que c'est 2 fois 4, 2 plus 4 égale le 8 puis le 6. Juste pour montrer le 8, 6. Ça, c'est qu'est-ce qu'il va créer. C'est quoi le 2 puis le 4? What is the 2 and the 4? And why did I show that? I showed that the 2 and the 4 create what is the 8 and 6, enable the 7 to pass between. Now, if I can't do something mathematically, well, guess what? Guess what? If I can't do something, and I could, because I can do everything that I choose to do by manipulation after I can't, how can I say this? It's not made. I can make it all perfect with that explanation because I get off the train here. I go up the elevator there. I go through the walkway, crossing the street, waiting for the light to turn. Okay, but I have to stand to the right because everybody else coming towards me is on the left. And I can only go when the last car passes, even if the light turns. For me to begin walking, I still must follow the rules. So sometimes we see dots and dashes and emojis and stuff. We don't understand them, right? Because we don't understand the complete association or what happens because of the complete disassociation with these numbers. right? Because all along, while you have um, all along with what you see is 6, every 6 gets a 3. This is a face value. 6 and 3 earth is face value. The connecting inside the house value is 6 and 4. There's a corridor between 3 and 4 in connecting this cube. Your first connection begins at 3. 1 between 2 equaling to 3. And this is how your first connection happens at 6. And they match up at 33, showing you your 3 times 3, your 3 plus 3, giving you the breath of life and explaining to you that in the 10th month, you come from the 9th birth into the 6th breath of life. And it's explained or adding on to a story that we're putting together in football, not soccer, but football, where you get 6 for a touchdown and you get the 1 extra point. Now, the thing is now in football, what we have is now we have the 2-point play, unlike what we already had in the CFL was the 2-point play for the mother house. See, that CFL in Trinity already talked and played with the 2-point play, putting the goalpost at the front of the field. Now, I'm sure everybody's a little mixed up because this story is very mixy-uppy. You've seen, what's that, Shrek a long time ago where they brought all the nursery rhymes together? Well, this world, I'm bringing it all together. Every element, every game that I can possibly can. Okay, what, Ma? No, I don't know everything, but I'm just still trying. I just know everything that you say to me. Okay, I can turn it into a story. Yeah. So let me look back. The Emerald Gamer, Fish, what's everybody doing? We've got a lot of passerbys. What's really funny is it's impossible really to have passerbys without stopping in and saying, hey man, like look at that apartment of yours. It's like trippy, right? I mean, I would be saying that. I got to get rid of this. What is this here? Hold on a second. Yeah. Oh, that's so much better. That's way so much better. When I can't see behind me, I don't know about the ghosts. So I'm going to get a glass of water, maybe put on this one little song here, take a 2-minute break, come back and see what's on schedule. Oh, Immortal joined me at a guest. Maybe I should invite the other hosts. Let me see if they're out there. There's Scuba that's out there with 7 guests right now. It says invite, and this one not on live with guests. Oh yeah, it's live with guests now. So I nudged him to let's see what's going on if he wants to come into the room, right? We're going to see what's happening in this other room. My thing is how do I get out of the room if they accept me? Or can I cancel it now if I want? No, I can't cancel it. Okay, just give me a minute. Let me see what's going on here. Michelle, thank you for the hat. Okay, let me get this glass of water. Did I put this thing on here? Does it seem like I'm like going this way and that way? Oh, he's got ADHD. No, he's got ABCD. I'm telling you, he's got ACD. No, it's BCD. I think it's BCE. It's not BCE. It's ABCE, or it could be ABDE, unless it's ACDE, unless we start at B and go BCD and E, right? Or we can go BCD and not E and F. We can go BCD and then F instead of E, or ACD and F. And this is the way the combinations work. And we revert the same thing back to the alphabet. The thing is, we can also humbly move the alphabet. Choose any number. I'll move the alphabet for you. Just give me a second to let me set up the grid. Choose any number, please, besides 3, 6, and 9. And that's the thing about pi. Even though there are others that have spoken in pi, that pi runs long enough that by associating 3 and 4 letter words in between words, they have discovered that pi is telling a story. Fantastic. But what I do to pi is I turn pi into CFI. That's all I turn pi into is this. All the words, that's what I'm going to do. CFI. Now I'm going to go CLUFOXIR. And that's a thing. Yes, IR. Yes. Talking to myself. That's why I'm here today. IRIT is that when I and R are with any other letter, it's not the same. I have to recalibrate my alphabet count. I also want to recalibrate and recreate my new alphabet count for capitals and small letters and for all vowels. The vowel count, okay, is 51. But the thing about the vowel count of A, E, I, O, and U is that the I is at the heart of everything, and the I is capitalized. It's between A and E 6, and the O and U, okay, 36, right? One is 6, one is 9, and I is 9. Have you ever looked at that before? IR, 3 times 6, 3 plus 6, equals to 27, equals to 9. Just finding, do you call it the anomalies? Just talking about all the anomalies of creation, things we live with on a day-by-day basis. How do you want to build a puzzle of understanding art creation if you won't partake with the baby steps of getting there, like a child? I bring this back in time, going into the alphabet. After you understand the structure and how it works, we can more or less understand further definitions of words. And there was one word yesterday I liked, and one was with a C, and the other one was convoy and discord. But it wasn't that, and I marked it down. It wasn't that one yesterday. Anybody know this? 40 days and 60 days? %100 of time is 60 seconds. Once we walked through the fourth corridor, time became 60 seconds. "40 seconds, we're going to call that D. 60 seconds, we're going to call it ABC. And D equals to 100%. We only run ABC, which is 60. The BCD birth is 90. Then we got a problem over here. A C birth or the C letter compared to the O letter takes up 75% of the area space. So the question is the C birth area space at 120 degrees, leaving the birth at 90. 75% of 120 is 90. When we go to the 12, we now complete the 12 zodiac signs, 120 degrees, 12 inches on the ruler, 48 minutes in a basketball game, 6 by 6, 6 plus 6. We end up creating and understanding a little bit deeper the Trinity. Every single club can connect a club and another one here. There's 3 connects for every heart club. There's going to be 3. That'll be 3 to the heart, 9 onto the outside, to the central soul that makes you up. Do you want to call it cardinal signs, fixed signs, mutable signs? Are we going to talk about the fire? Are we going to talk about the earth? Are we going to talk about the air? Are we going to talk about the water? Are we going to talk about Chinese astrology, sidereal astrology? All these elements, I'm only here as an orchestrator. I don't know very much about anything other than what I feel I can put together in the orchestration because I understand the alphabet science. I understand a little bit about how numbers work together. I understand their location, okay, depending on which house they're in. And I don't know all the houses, but I can explain to others how to create all the houses to the best of my knowledge, that each one works like a watch or a watch gear and a pull and work with each other. If I look at Rubik's Cube and you wanted to look at the heart of the cube, just think of this. Instead of going around and looking at everything, just look at the bearing in the center of the machine. One ring, two rings, and that's how the bearings will work. This is your entire cube on your fourth finger. Is it A, B, C to begin with? We start with the thumb father, right? And then do we bring out the two mothers? Or does father get switched into this position? Let me tell you about this position. You become the age of reckoning on this finger. That's right. Not only that, but this can also be recognized as the 18th, the 21st, the 13th, the 3rd, and the 8th finger. It's the only finger that has less recognition on it, but with more power than any other finger. Why? 1, 2, 3. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why? I can put my foot up. Now I got the foot in the hand. Now I got 2 feet in the hand. Now I got 2 feet a hand in another hand. I got 2 feet 10, one hand 5, 15, and then 3. So if we're talking about Saturn square talks about 15s. So since we have 20s, right, we're going to go like this. This hand with the 2 feet, that's 15. This hand with the 2 feet, that's 15. One of my feet with these 2 hands, now the other feet with those 2 hands. I feel like I'm playing cribbage here. You know that the game of cribbage is highly directed and connected to Saturn square. Why is it? Oh, and the cube. Why? Because a Saturn is noted to be let me say it a little bit different. Saturn square and the cube. I have to say this different. I've always said it the same way, and I don't like it. For the first time, I don't like it, and I don't know why. Saturn square and the cube. They call the cube a square. Okay. Saturn is number 93. Right? It's 31 divided by 3. 13 is the reverse of what is 7 on a cube. Where do I get that from? Because I'm still thinking of what I said before, so I'm just losing my trend of thought. Not very happy about that. Where's the calculator? Man, I'll tell you one thing. I had 7 calculators. I had 7. I'm telling you, I had 7. Especially during 2020. I went out while everybody was sneaking out the toilet paper. I snuck out 7 calculators just so I can keep up. You know? So if you're all thinking about what toilet paper is, it's like a scroll. It's right in front of you. You can also read it this way and unwind it this way like the Torah, but the words would be this way. Makes me think like floating, the alphabet is floating in the ocean. But anyways, let me find my calculator for a minute. Wow, that's like really, that's silly. That's silly. Okay, I'm just gonna move on and just see where I'm going with this next. I think I was talking about 2020 before. What is it about 20? I'm gonna get onto it again. This cube has 21 dots. The average, okay, is 3.5 dots. There are no 3.5 dots. But the heart of this cube, because of the dots, okay, which is 7, is known as a 3.5. Because there's 3 opposite sides, you're going to call this cube 105. When you call this cube of 105, what you're going to see is let me put that in. I like that mustache. Oh my God, cover me up. Put my snake. Where am I? I'm all tied up. We got to get ready for the game. Oh, the snake is dead. So even when you look at this snake, right? If you look at the snake, so if the Beanie Babies that brought these snakes out made the snake this color, are there any other snakes? If you don't think this is part of our creation, okay, I think different. And by the way, there's yellow in here. There's soul inside the snake. But it got a little cold. A little navy of Mars went into the snake. Do you know how I know? Check the color out. There's got to be a dark blue in here making the mixture. I have to understand, look, is it the two black eyes, right? Two black eyes, the black-eyed peas. Does it have anything to do with Mars? See the way it's talking to you? It's talking about the split tongue. I don't have a split tongue. Yet man only talks about evil all the time. And you know what? Everything has opposition or stories. The jet plane does not take off into the sky if it wasn't for the opposing air. I'm leaving on a jet plane. And I know that every religious person would sing this song because it includes Jesus inside the song. And only when you say, I'm leaving on the jet plane, J, Jesus, E, energy, T, time, I am leaving on the jet plane. J is the 10th letter. E is the 5th letter. T is the 20th letter. 4 times 5, 2 times 10 equals to what that jet plane is. Jesus Christ, power and energy, powering up by the E worlds, inside this world, by the oceans. They're running this world by the oceans, by the sun, inside this house we live. This is so far what I've been dictated. Mars, you ain't going nowhere. Mars is part of the house. The seasons of Mars, or perhaps I would have to go to seasons on the sun. So anytime I look up the word season, in fact, this whole language we speak is, for some reason, it's not even real. You know, why would they make it the last language? Why did they start at whatever language it was or whatever language we are told? It doesn't matter what's real. It doesn't matter what's real. You know why? Because if it came out of a college or a university, if it's been written in a book, real enough for me. Okay? Are we indoctrinated with something? We are. Okay? And I know a lot of sleeping beauties out there, right? In fact, if I had to look at my family, lo and behold, should I be awake or asleep? I am so happy and proud to say many of them are seeing the light, which is so much easier for me. But yet I'm going to tell you right now, there's 8 new babies in the family via the last 4 years, which is very scary for me. Nobody knows, and I can't say a word. It's very hard for me to walk amongst them to know. In 1984, there was, if you look online, and I'm looking it up on Google right now, it says HAEMOPH. Let me see. Wow, they won't. Hold on a second. Haemophilus pig disorder. Yeah, well, anyways, in the time this happened, it came to acute fever, loss of appetite, labored breathing, skin discoloration. What was happening is the lungs were turning red. They couldn't breathe anymore. Okay. And then And then once we got the help, right? Once we got help, okay, from Pfizer, right? They were all blowing up in the HEART, right? That's what's happening. And they were taking these piglets, and I know where, right? Not far from me, and they were testing them. And it's a place in Laval they were doing this at. And then they were shipping them off to sale houses and selling them up for auction. And how do I know? I spent 40 years in the business. That's how I know. I saw a lot of very bad things going on. I saw the government offering their services, turning in new rules and regulations, what you could do, what you can't do from a family farm. You know what I'm saying? It got so bad that eventually we had to get rid of it. But it didn't go as far as that. I seen the baby chicks and what they do with them, throwing them into garbage cans. But you have to understand also, okay, that studying the letters, the numbers, I also understand how life comes into the breath and how different animals are destined within the world they are. They already know their destiny. They already know they're going to be hunted. They already know how to get out of the system. They're in and out like they are. They can drop their body according to my work, and I can't show it any more than explaining all the numbers. And once you realize that this is not just This is not concrete. This is my belief because of how I've been dragging through these numbers over 20 years. That all these animals, the thing is, do you know where most of the pain is? It's within us. We keep paying the price, right? Until we realize, okay, take nothing for granted. Buried under the stone at 6 feet down, right? When you're talking about 6 feet apart and 6 feet down, knowing that you're not alone in any situation, not just because of the Holy Spirit, the breath of the Lord, but all those that surround you. And when you have someone's back, it's back to back to back, and that's what the Trinity is. Otherwise, if you want to be facing in opposition, you'll be talking in fours. Four always has a corridor between two sides, right? The Trinity is, you can poke your, I just can't explain it right now. I have to see it again. I sometimes I'm in and out of the explanation. And like I said, I explain it the way I see it. So if there are any numbers anybody'd like to know about, the other thing is we were talking about 12 inches. I mean, what do we run under? We run under 12 inches, you know. I'm just okay. We run 12 inches. We run 3 of them for 36. We go to football, they call it a yard. We have 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 equals to 18 and 9, 27. 3 and 6 is the first time one comes between 2. So now you can connect the constellations. The one of you and 1 and 1 bearing moons of the constellations, bringing them together through the planetary Earth-Mars system, right? Planet, right? Let's planet. We're going to get it out here. The IT, okay, what it represents for me, I9, T equals 20. T is communication in the star system by the ocean. Let me see if I can, I don't know if I want to use this as part of it. You notice there's no legs inside of here. The legs are here, 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 and here. Can this be one of the connections with the ocean inside of here? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Now we connect the other 18 over here. We end up with 2 circles. 18, right? 18 and 18, 36, 360 degrees. I work with the rules and regulations of Earth. I take it into this board here that we are. I turn it into a game. Let's see what everything on planet Earth says. What is the alphabet about? I study it. What is a number about, since a number is also a word? What is a color? A color is a visual or a frequency, and I'm not the one who's going to complete all of this. It's going to be ours. I need to speak to somebody who knows about colors and how frequencies are colors, or how the piano creates frequencies, creating colors, or how vibration creates different star-like inside the sand. And where does the alphabet come from? Does it come from that star-like vibration? And at what instant of that vibration do we stop vibrating, and for what reason? Because when you're passing on a message, you're not going to run your car full speed. You need to cool down your computer with a fan. You have megabytes, you have terabytes. Well, you have a 33, a 45, and a 78 record. If you're talking Akashic records, how are you writing things down? Does that mean documented things? If you document something, do we need time? Time is on the clock, but time is the difference between one thing happening and another. Recognition of the differences is very important. So time is a very important tool. Just like Celsius, just like Fahrenheit, you're putting something in the oven, you're baking it at X for a certain period of X. So how do you do anything? You call it time. For people in the denial of time, okay, you're just denying something that we're using all the time. Whether you look at the sun or whether you use a watch, okay, if you know particularly what time it is, or maybe you're talking about the watch that we don't need. Maybe you're talking, maybe because you can figure out what time it is about what time it is. Maybe we were removed from the system, not understanding time, right? Just let me I'm going to get something to drink. Thank you, Angelic. Thank you very much. I like all the lives. Don't break your fingers, but we got to get out there. I've got to get out there somehow, everybody always dictates to everybody else. Well, why don't you do this? And why don't you do that? I got one of my best friends. I'm not sure if he watches me or not. He says, well, maybe you should do this or maybe you should do that. I said, well, maybe you should watch exactly what I do and give me a guidance from direct knowledge. He says, oh, I know what you're like after 30 years or 40 years. He knows what I'm like, but he doesn't know about the way the system works because he's in full denial that we are in being fully controlled by this system. And I believe they paid the master of the house to own this house, right? You want to call it, what do you want to call this little kingdom, this little chunk we're living in? Are we irrelevant or are we relevant to the system? Or get your ticket to the show, Disneyland. Here we are, Mickey Mouse communication, 2 black ears. The dog's nose, Pluto. Why do things duplicate in Warner Brothers? Mickey Mouse. Well, I'm looking the mouse, and the mouse moves the flesh. Why does the mouse move the flesh? The mouse moves the flesh. The flesh in French is an arrow. The arrow is on the screen. The mouse moves the flesh. The microprocessor is disturbed. Or the home brewery. You know, like the brewery mission? Has anybody seen the word mission before? So what it is microprocessor home brewery. So far, so good. To speed everything up through the water, through the falls, and not through natural energy because it's not fast enough to deliver the process that is needed within the house. Since we're working on a secondary relationship with the house, okay, the memory is fixed. You can't add more memory than you are given in the house. So you have to find alternate ways. Now you want to keep all of this because the time limit for running the monopoly is over. Now they're looking to cage the rest of us in or to build their own fleshy robotics. So when you say mission, you have a 1, a 5, a 2, a 1, an 0. Maybe it's 2012. 2012 is a time period that ends in 2015, giving you a warning for the last 3 years. And 444 times 4 is what is 1776. Now, what is 76 times 76 is 5776. And what this is the first year of the 13 by the 444, okay, bringing back what is 5772. Four times 444, 1776. 76 times 76 is 2016. 444 times 13 is 5772. If this is 2016, this is 2012. 2012 was the end of the beginning of the first corridor ending. After 15 in the reverse alphabet and in the house that runs by 131326 ends in the year, okay, the last zodiac sign passes in 2027 of this house. In 2027, is what the actual reflectivity of what is the end time of the year 2000. 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 equals to what is 18 and 9. The house is represented by the higher self. And when it's represented by the higher self, okay, it's represented through 8 and 9, 1 and 2. 8 and 9, what is this? When you're at the seventh gate, these become the same. 1 divided by 7, 1 divided by 7, or 8 divided by 7 have the same 1.142857, and this is 428571. 91 is the spirit. 82 holds the energy within the house of Bait. 4 times 2 is 8. 91 is spirit. 28th day of the cycle we run. 1, 9, 10, 2, 8, 10. 1 minus 8 is 7. 9 minus 2 is 7. 7 and 10 come together, 17. Mars runs the power gate, okay, of 1771. So I have to understand what that power gate is and what it is. It represents the wolf. I know wolf has ovens now. I know the wolf is number 56, which is 2 times 28. It's 2 times 28. Wolf. Now, this is for Mars moons. Even though Mars moons doesn't run the Earth cycle, it still runs the knowledge, okay, of the movement of our moon towards their moon, which equals to 56, which dictates it's the flow. The energy goes through the flow of the wolf. So it means it goes through the 2 moons and the 1 moon. Number 56 also equals to 11. It's also, when you see 56, it could be 26, it could be 29, which means it's the beginning of a new cycle, right? Because the 5 can flip to a 2, because the 6 can flip to a 9, leave nothing out, create all the situations, then we can try and understand how we can see the puzzles to the machine, but we don't understand the schematics yet. So with all these elements that were given in our life are the schematics, okay, or the codes, or whatever you want to call them. You see that another thing in columns, right? Column up! Now I forget what I was going to say. They're always bothering me. Guys, go to sleep. I'm up now. You can go to sleep. I don't need any more help. Man alive, they stop. Okay, I think they went to bed. So what was I looking up here? Wow, I don't remember. Oh, you see, you always forget, so you blame it on me. Stay in there, go to bed. You know, thank God my children are easy to put to sleep, you know? Go to bed there, kid. Stop rubbing me out. You rubbed enough off. All you got is on the edges. Take care of them. You didn't touch the part down here. Why don't you bother these guys? Well, I got to keep these guys warm, you know. I got to keep this warm, my tongue, you know. I got to keep this whole thing warm. What about up there? So my nose tells me there's only one passageway. So only having one passageway, what do you do with one when you split it? So I was thinking it can be eyes made out of coal and a carrot for my nose. So carrot is orange, bringing the soul within the spirit, right? Now, a lot of people say the spirit is not real. There's a possibility, but I also know that within the word spirit, when they say it in other languages, they put the E before it. So it's the E spirit. So it could be the E transition, right, inside the breath that we take. Like they threw something in there. Is it supposed to be evil? I don't know. How are we getting the same sex? I mean, 2 sexes inside the house through 1 moon? Right? We have 2 sexes. So the cat has to keep flipping upside down. The black cat. You know what I'm saying? The black cat. The black is the part of the soul that goes back and forth between male and female and keeps transferring that energy between the 2 houses, between the Earth moon and the 2 Mars moons. You want to hear something cuckoo? At least cuckoo for me is the name of the Mars moons are Phobos and Deimos. No, Phobos? You telling me that's a fool? That's a lie? And Bus. What do you mean bus? You mean USB? You mean a USB key? You mean the Mars Moons is a USB key? Oh, holy mac. Hey, wow. And what about Demas? Well, Demas is the transfer encryption amongst the cubes. And of course, the Holy of Holies, 64 cubic, the Father. Elon Musk, 64. Elon, 46. Musk, 64. Jacob's Ladder, 1331. 1331. Do you know what 1331 is? I think it's 11 times 11 times 11. 1331. So what we're going to do here is when we have 11, 11. Hold on a second. Let me see. We have 11 times 11 times 11. Yeah, right there. 11 times 11 times 11. So what we do is we go from 121 mother to 1331 father in the cycles of the moon. Now you tell me that we don't live in a pre-created planet. That when we get 13 by 13, 169, okay? Now that's where the Monopoly board ends, and this is 168 hours in a week. And only number 7 splits this up. Number 7 is the train tracks. Everybody's going to say it's 5, but I'm going to prove myself right. Here's Monopoly. See the word pass is 55? Remember I showed you this over here? 2015, 2012. That was the end of time. Take a check. 13 by, why 444? If you write this down like this, okay, 58, 74, 90, 66, 74, 82. What do I have? Yeah, I'm going to hold this up. You take a look at it. Here we have 70, 74, 78, 62, 74, 86. Now I'm going to make smaller ones. Then I'm going to go 1 second. You know, I shouldn't let you just look down here, eh? I keep dropping stuff on the floor, flip the camera over. Yeah, and if you like to help support the channel, right? I keep getting the same people over and over again. You don't worry about it. I'm going to always eat, you know. And, you know, I got to do this every single day. This ain't going to end. I'll be doing this forever and ever and ever. Oh, yes, we talked about the elephant, right? I forgot to mention that. So what it is... What it is the elephant has a microprocessor, right? Microprocessor home brewing is because we brew within ourselves. We look for the spirit also to know that water, okay, E, A, and U, the gold is within the E world in the water, inside the retention in ourselves. The 2 houses it's talking about, the bar, also known to be for 13 or the male, okay, is 21 and 19. The association of what is 21 and 19, this is AB, this is your base 3 creation. Okay, it's like this. Let me do it really simple. This is really complicated because I don't know how to share it properly. Okay, we're going to bring down the lower house over here. 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, equals to 10. 6, 7, 8, 9 equals to 30, making the lower house, okay, 3 times the upper house. But when you bring it into Trinity, what Trinity means is we don't live in 1, we live in 3. So it's 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 6, 3 times 4, 12, 1 and 2, 3, 3 by 5, 15, 1 and 5, 6, 3 by 7, 21, 2 and 1, 3, 3 by 8, 24, 2 and 1, 6, 3 times 3, 9, 3 by 6, 18, 1 and 8, 9. Everything comes out of the 9 and then splashes down here. and then we reconnect. How do we reconnect our 9, right? Or we're building up. 7 months, 4 months, 1 month, 7 months of 31 days, right? I got a lot of stuff out here. Where do I put this? Do I put it at 217 or 37? Creating the airwave, okay, inside the creation birth between 21, the cube, the gateway of the cube. 2 airwaves come alive over here. Here we get earth, and over here in number 2, we're going to get earth, and 1 is fire. And then we're going to connect earth and fire to the airwave if we associate these numbers. We always have to find an association. Now I remember there's only 2 letters in this house. It's going to be number 18 and number 9. 189. And that is 63. And that is the base creation. Check it out. 3 times 6, 9. 3 plus 6, okay, 3 plus 6, 9. 3 times 6, 18. 3 times 63, 189. The 18th letter and the 9th letter. There's only 2 in the house. Only what happens, okay, when you talk about Venus, okay, Venus is the house of 2. 2 times 2, 2 times 3, 2 times 4, 2 times anything. When you get to 2 times 9 equals to 18, that house ends, right? And then you get the 3. What is 3? When 1 comes between 2, and you do that all the way to 9, and that equals to 27. And you keep on doing that. 4 by 9 equals to 36. And then 5 by 9 equals to 45. Now, 6 by 9 equals to 54. And what's really funny is the word love equals to 54. Fox equals to 45, and the average, okay, of the face of the dice cube is 5. 9 by 5, 45. When you add up 1 through 9, it equals to 45. Another thing is this is 13 and this is 14. It's the split between the alphabet over here. When you get up to 7 times 9 is 63. You end up with what is the gateway and the birth. And look at that. 63 is for the male, 54 is for the female, 7 is for Earth, 6 is for Mars. When you add these together, it becomes 117. So now I'm going to show you a little bit about the cube, then we're going to end it because I'm really like pushing it here. I'm way like so late. So late. The dogs, no, they're going to wait for me, Charlie. Okay, yeah, so you saw, so the elephant is a microprocessor. When you see the arrow on your screen, they also call it a flesh in French. Your mouse has a round ball in it. When you're moving the mouse, you scare the elephant because the elephant is scared of the mouse. The elephant has a very pea brain, so I look at it as a microprocessor. I also look at the cat chasing the mouse as well as the cat chasing the bird. And the thing about the cat and the bird is I believe that the bird is another part of communication with inside the breath, a personal connection with the Father. The reason for this with the Father, I don't know if I already have this design, and I don't want to look too much for the design, is the house is split in half. The Father is in both houses. They say that we were born with an animal soul. Area 51. In between 5 and 1 is 2, 3, 4, holding the vibration within. Inside 3 and 6 holds the vibration of the female. 117. What is 117? Like I mentioned on the cube before, when you see 1, there's 8 missing. When you see 6, there are 3 missing. The 6 and 1 are opposite each other. If I show you this one, you'll say 3. You'll say 8. You'll say 11. If I show you 2, I show you 2 dots, but you can make 9 more dots. There are 7 missing. Here, I can show you 5 dots, but you can put in the empty space 4 dots. There are 4 missing. 5 and 4, 9. 1 and 8, 9. 2 and 7, 9. 6 and 3, 9. Therefore, 3, 8, 11. 4, this one is 3 and 3, 6. This one is 5 and 4. This one is 6 and 3. So when I do that, 7, 4, 11. 5, 6, 11. 4, 7, 11. Every side of 7 dot is 11 void. If they talk about the master numbers somewhere, ask them where they got it from. Do they know where it comes from? How does anybody explain it? I haven't heard anybody explain it, but I will tell you, I've been sharing this for a few years now, and yet why isn't my words are not reverberated? Why? Why hasn't somebody stolen this reality? Is it out there? Like if I say, is 7 devoid of 11? The phrase 7 devoid of 11 likely refers to a specific context within a fictional narrative, specifically the Alex Hunter series, Geek Beck. And I just want to show you something. When I pull this up and down, look at the empty space between the words. Look at the empty space. There's a story going on in this empty space if we can figure out what's happening. Do you follow me? Anyways, so you can see by now is, I'm going to tell it directly. Every side of a cube has 9 positions. If that's true, then all opposite sides of the cube must have 18 positions. If that's true, then if you see 7 dots from 18, that's 11. Do you see a mathematical equation out there that is this? This 2 times 9, when you land on waterworks and electric company, hold on a second. Just to let you know, I went away with these people last year, right? I was always the last one to show up because nobody ever told me where we were going. Don't know why, but that's me, but that's okay. Do you see this? This area over here, okay? This area over here is 12 from go. This area over here is 28 from go. 28 from go. 12 from go. The Monopoly game takes up the 13th moon. It takes up, sorry, it doesn't take up the 13th moon. It does, but in this situation for real. What I'm trying to say is when you play a game, when does the area place you stand on count? Some games you start from inside the house, so your count is at 0. But then you have to return back to the house, and then you count it then. So anyways, I'm going to say it like this. I'm just trying to see. When you play the Monopoly game, go, when you're standing on go, it counts as 1. So when you move 12 over to Waterworks or Electric Company 28, you're actually on the 13th and the 29th area. The 29th area running by the woman and the moon, okay, bless her soul, that this would be the first day of the news cycle. And the 32nd day, or the pig in Leo, would be the day of the news cycle. And day 31, or day one, which would be the news cycle, understanding that there's always a news cycle. It's 104, the 64th minute, communication, Elon Musk. It's 105, it's the heart of the cube, the 65th minute, 105. 105, the heart of the cube is 3.5. 3.5 times 3 is 105. It's also JE. It's also when you go to the store, when the penny no longer has a value, it's 5 and 10 cents, which is Leo and Capricorn. Why were they given Leo and Capricorn to control? What is this about? It seems like they're working by fives, while the base system works by eights. Why are they doing this? Now, I had an answer for that in a minute. Yes, because the fifth position all comes out of the ocean, where all the energy is. I'm going up to space or down to the ocean. Which one? I'm going to be occupying space. That's what it is. It's easy to lie when you're telling the truth. Are you in space? Yes, I am. I occupy all of it. Move over, everybody. Move over. Move over. Move over. Move over. Move over. Move over. Hey, it's getting cold in here. Move over. I'm trying to get space to move over. But watch what happens when I move space over. When you try to control space, look at that. Look at that. Everything's moving. I'm trying to control space and everything's moving. Look at that. So I can't control space by moving it over. Space moves over. When you move space over, okay, you create a movement. A movement will create another movement. And then all of a sudden it gets windy outside and it starts to rain because somebody is playing with space. You know, when it just all of a sudden a storm moved in? Yes, all of a sudden a storm moved in. Okay, shut the roof. Shut the roof. We've got enough rain in the house. I know what's happening. The kids are going out to play. The worms are coming from the ground. Yes, we'll dry it up tomorrow. And out came the sunshine and dried up all the rain. The spider came out the water spout, and that was beautiful. Perfect. Humpty Dumpty, yes, sat on a wall. Right. I mean, what does it mean to sit? What does it mean to stand? And what does it mean to rest? I've seen people in blackjack saying, stand. You know, I'll rest. Resting and standing seems like the same thing to me. Yeah, I don't think I ever played that song. Did I? Did I ever play that song? No, I didn't. I think I'm going to find that song. I've just been blabbing at just a whole bunch of things. There's a way to correct this planet. There's a way to correct things. Basically, the word electric is 75. The word moon is 57. The word birth is 57. Birth is 54. This is where sun comes in. This is where the cube comes in. Mars and Earth, 103, right? See where 1 and 2 comes together? Well, 512 is memory. 8 times 8 times 8 is 512. 5 times 5 times 5 is 1.25. What is 1.25? It's the amount of time of the 13th moon passing. That's what it is. Another thing is when you get to 20, when you add up 1 all the way to 20, it equals to 210. When you add 1 all the way to 15, it equals to 120. Just let me add up. Just give me a second. Okay, I'm going to do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 through 15, 16. Okay, I can go 135 and 1. Okay, and this one is going to be 230, 231, 211, 231, 121. When you count 1 through 15, it equals 120. When you add the 15, it equals to 135. When you add the 1, it equals to 136. 136 is A plus B plus 3 equals 136. What is 15 and what is 20? Where am I going to compare this to? I'm going to compare this, okay, to the game of darts. Darts has 20 numbers. The 15, I'm going to relate to the game of pool for the 15 balls. But also, I'm going to relate it to 20 minutes on the clock times 3. The darts, okay, that's the darts. Now the pool, I'm going to relate to 15 minutes on the clock times 4. when I bring the harmonics of the electric moon, okay, between the two houses together, okay, and into the soul, it has to be balanced. I like to call it the electric soul, the black electric soul. The word black equals to 29. In Monopoly, the 29 area, as I showed you, and Waterworks is 29 and 13 on this board, whichever way you want to go. The area space is 29 and 13, bringing in the first day of the new cycle, okay, and bringing in the first day of the new cycle in the zodiac at 13, with the birth cycle, 28 day to the cycle, the 29 starts over. 2 and 9 can also be mentioned as 5 and 6. 2 and 9, when properly designed, if you take a look at the bicycle cards or the B cards, you can see on one of them has number 92. Now, what's the difference? And I'm throwing out a lot of things here because if you become, nobody's very inquisitive. So if nobody can catch up and somebody wants to catch up, put me in my place, stop me and say, well, what do you want to talk about? I don't understand this, and explain it to me. So anyways, we're back to 5 times 5 times 5. Right? And the other one is 8 times 8 times 8. So what are these two numbers? They're actually perfect when they work together. 8 plus 5 is 13. 1 and 3 is 4. And 8 times 5 is 40. So it becomes 53. And this number, although we can go 53, 5 and 8 times 5 is 40 is what I wanted to do. 8 and 5 is 13. 1 and 3 is 4. So this 4 and 4, the house we live in, which I started to show something and then I went out somewhere else. Always losing my path. That's why I keep spinning my tires, but it's okay. I'll learn one day. So this is basically, I showed you those numbers before. Oh, no, I didn't. Wow, where is this? What happened? I just did a whole thing and I don't know where I wrote it. Okay, irrelevant to the fact, I'm going to show you it again. I'm going to do it in front of you. So here's what it is. Here's what it is. I can draw a line like this and a line like this. The next one, okay, I'm going to do a line like this and a line like this. The next one, I'm just going to make it the right size, okay? Whoop. It's not even the right size. And the next one, I'm going to do a line like this and a line like this. In the next one, I'm going to do a line like this and a line like this. And then I'm going to just keep on doing these. This one would be a line like this. I just want to see. Let's see. Do I do this? I got that. So I got this way and this way with that, and this way now. So these 4 lines here. So this is 90, and this is 58. This one over here is 66. This is 70, 82. This one over here is 62, 78, 86, 70, 70, 78, 66, 82. And you get the drift right now, right? So if you can add them all up, 58 and 90, 148. 82 and 66, 148. 296. Now, what about the crossing here? Plus 74. Okay. Did I get that right? Okay, yes. So the first one equals to 370. So we have to count this one here going this way, 74, and then we count it the other way, 74, equaling to 444. So here we're going to do it right away. 62 and 86, okay, plus 74, and 70 and 78 plus 74. And this one equal 222, 222. So when we come to here, it'll be 222, 222, 222, equaling to 666. And each one of these, okay, is going to equal to 444, which means the beta has connected. I'm going to explain to you. What do I mean by the beta has connected? It's that first, it's one connect. Then it's by twos. Then it's by threes. And then it's by fours. And that's when the whole circuitry comes up. But when you connect it by fours, you connect it to the next board. Otherwise, you're short-circuiting. You've used all this board to connect. And where did I see something else like this? I saw it on the Vatican doors. When the Pope went in, okay, in January, right? The Vatican doors, the design on the doors were like blocks. They were rectangular, right? But when they're on a door, it's like the doors had to go sideways. In fact, if I was reading, I'd have to be lying down and counting this way and not counting this way. But when you're doing and connecting shapes, it doesn't really matter. It's a straight line in that context. Wow, there's 57 likes. Wow, 111, I have to go. Yeah, I have to get out of here. I have to leave. Thank you, Angela. Beautiful. Thank you for all the likes. I hope you get your fingers back one day. Yeah, you know, I shouldn't even, okay, wow. I got even words written. I got to go through all these words. I can't leave any, I don't like to leave anybody standing. If anybody's ever seen any of my work, or if you've said something and I haven't answered you, then go ahead and inbox me. What is that? PM me. Why is 6 afraid of 7? 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. What happens is that I don't know. I'm just showing this for a second. The clubhouse vibrating. So I just want to see. I think it's okay. So first, before I end it, I have to just go back and show you a few things. This board over here is the Monopoly game. It's got the corner. When you look at it and you look at these squares, the corner has two squares. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is why I call the train number 7. It's 7 away from each corner. Electric company is right over here, or waterworks and electric company. When you count, there's 4 areas here, and there's a total of 4, 18, and 4. So it's 22. So for every single link, it's 22, 22, 22, 22. Half a board is 44. So if you're looking at 22 or 44 or 88 for the constellations, it's the rim of the board. So when we get 22 and 4, 26, that's a doghouse. So 26, 28, 30, and then you come over here. Oh, so that's 30. At 30, you get to electric company waterworks from each side. It's the 28th area, cycle of the moon. Over here, the 12th area, the zodiac. But when you're counting the board itself, okay, it becomes the 13th and 28th. See the right angle and left angle around the train tracks and in the corners over here, how everything rides to the center. This area space here is 1 or 169. The board is made up by 13 by 13. It's 6 areas, then the track, then 6 areas, then the track. But if you don't count the first area, it's 2, 4, I like to call it's 2, 4, 1, 4, 1. 2, 4, 1 for 1. How about the 144,000? Everybody keeps, you know, it's funny. I'm watching these videos, and in one, sorry, not videos, but people talking realistically. I'm a scientist. And somewhere deep down in there, it's the 144,000, and they're taking it, it has to be 144,000. Like, if you're a scientist, you have to take things as metaphors, right? What is 144? Did you know that on the face of a calculator or the face of the phone, it's 4 at the bottom, 4 at the top, 1 in the center? Maybe it's a 1 for 4 exchange. Maybe it's 4 quarters for $1. Maybe we're $1 and 4 quarters. I don't know. Maybe you're 4 people. I'm 1 person. I'm giving you a lift. Everybody gave me a quarter. Let's go. It's Aquarius. It's a school of fish. The other thing is when Monopoly expands. The thing is, in this one, there's a hole in the center where the trains are, right? What happened, what I believe, okay, is that the House of Mars got a rib, You see, the house of Mars was made up of just four. I can't even do this. The house of Mars would be these four areas, right? Now, what you do is when you split that and you put this in between and this in between, because Mars has only four corners. Every corner of Mars is 3. 4 by 3 is 12. Now what happens? It was split up here, and everywhere else on the cube. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing this Earth house, okay, and giving its number for its sake. 25 years to life. Well, how about the numeric value for Earth? 52. How about Jack being locked up in Titanic, which is Titan up, all coded. Anyways, I have no more time today. I'm going to pick up. There's a whole lot of stuff I can talk about because everything's basically in my subject. I have a story for everything. Everything is true. Here is the 20 part. You see that little cookie here? Right? You can maybe take it for movement amongst two houses. It can also be redesigned. Wow. Why do I lose everything? I have to stop opening 6 books at the same time. You know what I'm saying? For those who didn't see this part over here, right? The tower, how the towers are built. That's actually the result of 33. Yeah, I'm just throwing all kinds of things. Another new discovery this week was when you write out the word God, is it G-O-D or is it G-D? Because G-D is 7 minus 4 equals to 3, 2 air signs. 2 letters equals to God of the Sun. 3 letters equals control by Venus, the house of 2468. Peace and love to everybody. I'll see you again, possibly somewhere tonight. A 12-pointed flower on top of an invert. Is there a button on this 12-pointed flower is one of my questions. Because 12 doesn't have any heart zone to it. You have to live inside the zone. 13 does have the heart zone. You become the 13th in order to create the life. It seems like the 13 sign that was missing is us running around on Earth having a good time, minding our business and living the life we were supposed to live. The question is, will we be put back into the real game? Will our life be regressed? Has there been anybody playing in our place? This is our life and this is our place. And let's learn this. Let's have fun. We know 1,000%, and I still have to go over these letters here. Even if it's English people that wrote this down or whoever wrote this down, that doesn't matter. The language itself untangles its lies. Thank you for watching this video. Peace. And yeah, help support the channel. Huge importance every single day of the year. Thank you.